Welcome to Longwood University's Office of Disability Resources. Before we begin today, I'd like to introduce to you the staff who make up the Office of Disability Resources. There are three full-time professional staff who work in the Office of Disability Resources. Currently speaking to you today is Dana, and I am the director of the office as well as the ADA coordinator for the entire campus. My direct extension is given to you as well as my email. Do not hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns. Madeline Shute is my associate director. Again, her number and email are listed there for your use. She has also created a video which is linked to our website to explain the documentation process as well as the intake process, which I advise you to watch or listen to next. Lastly, we have Susan Dockery. She is our assistant director. Again, her number and email are there. You can reach out to her if you have questions about technology needs or just general questions about our office. As we progress through our presentation today, I am just going to briefly touch on the role of our office, what the student's role is, how we interact with each other, and the students and our resources, what you can expect at the college level, who our campus resources are and how they're involved, and how you can stay involved as a parent. You may notice that I will continue to use the term resources over services, and that is completely intentional because when we focus on how college is different, we are considered a resource, not a service any longer, whereas they received a service in their post-secondary setting. I liken this concept to a doctor's office. A doctor doesn't magically show up to your home every day or so often to hand you medicines to provide that service to you. Rather, when you aren't feeling well or something's not going right with you or your health, or you just want a wellness check, you seek out the doctor, and then the two of you make a plan based on what he or she can offer. We operate much in the same way. While we do have quite a few proactive activities we like to engage in with your student, they are truly in the driver's seat of this experience. We and our campus partners in a variety of offices have a lot to offer the students in terms of resources, but it's really up to them to seek out and actively utilize what is offered. When we think about the academic differences as students enter the post-secondary setting, it can be overwhelming to them at first. So here's just a general conversation about some self-advocacy, your role as a parent, ideas of reasonableness, instructions, and then the evaluation of our students here at Longwood. So this conversation of resources versus services that we just spoke about parlays into this larger discussion of the general differences between what you may have experienced at the secondary education level versus what happens at the college level. As I was alluding to in the prior slide, the importance and the outright necessity of the student's ability to self-advocate is potentially a major shift of how accommodations and resources may have been broached in the past. Being that there aren't special education teachers, resource rooms, and etc. in the college setting, the student takes on the role of being able to articulate his or her needs and find the available resources to support the said need. While we are here to encourage the students to do that and match them to the appropriate resources, we do not walk them to that place to make sure that they get that resource, but we do send them in the right direction. The shift in the student's role relates to how the parent's role is affected as well. I'm sure that you've all heard about FERPA, or talked about, or you will. That is the student's information and records of what can be shared while they're here as an adult. And while we welcome an ongoing conversation and involvement with you as parents and guardians, our roles in our day-to-day work are with the students, So it's really who we are focused on. We are student focused, and fostering that relationship of trust, communication, and growth. So if you should contact us, we will reach out to the student to see if we can't have them join us for a conference call or get answers to your questions and have them return your call. But really, due to their privacy, we can't share grades. We don't share, what they're doing socially or those things. But certainly if you're concerned about your student, let us know. Another big difference between high school and college for students with disability is this concept of reasonableness with regard to accommodations. The reason for this is the legislation in the elementary, middle, and high school operate under a different federal law and standards than the college does. In secondary school, No Child Left Behind, etc., the focus is on doing whatever modifications, accommodations might be necessary to ensure that the student gets a high school degree or equivalent. In the college setting, the focus is just simply on ensuring access, that each student has access to the education, and that success is up to the student. We will ensure that your student has access to some of the accommodations they need if they are reasonable and the documentation supports them. We will provide them resources to get the success that they are hoping to have in the college setting. We will support them through one-on-one meetings and various programs we offer through the office. However, that primary goal of success and doing well at Longwood University falls squarely on the student's shoulders. The instruction is different in the college setting. Each teacher may have their different instructional styles, which I don't think is different than what you would expect. The professors are not required to modify assignments or deadlines. The student will be working with their syllabus to meet the required deadlines and dates that the faculty put in their syllabus. We can help them plan out so that they have a reasonable amount of time. Of course, this is an individual situation with anything, so I can't blanketly tell you that that's not an accommodation. However, it is not a common accommodation. We work to help prepare your student for these changes as we take time to talk with them during their intake. If they want to schedule one-on-one meetings with their case manager here in the office weekly, that's welcomed as well. Grades and tests. As you can imagine, there's a variety of evaluation means. We will work to help prepare your student for that as well, in that they need to realize that there may only be one or two assessments within a class, and the rest of the information is graded around different things. So it is a little bit different than the high school setting when we talk about grades and tests. Okay, who are some of our resources, or what do? We do provide academic accommodations. That's the bulk of what we do. We also consider the documentation that the students bring to us from previous secondary IEPs, 504 plans, service plans, all of that information, evaluations. But we also take time to listen to the student's history and story, to combine that with the documentation to come up with academic accommodations that are both reasonable and help ensure that the student will have access to the curriculum. We provide alternate format of printed materials so that the student can have access to them. We provide assisted technology from the office that can be checked out and returned to us, such as the smart pen for taking notes, or a recorder so that a lecture can be recorded should those accommodations be approved. We do have interpreting services that can be requested well in advance of an event if there should be a need for an interpreter. We offer housing accommodations on an individual basis. Some of the things that we do that are not typical of other schools is we provide a support group and called ACT that meets weekly, and you will learn more about that when you get to campus. We offer skill building workshops. We hold one-on-one meetings. Your student gets communication from our office every 2 weeks from their case manager. We hold campus-wide events, and we also participate in the workforce recruitment program. All of these things together help to create a really proactive office of resources for the students to get what they need. Our campus partners are wide and varied. Just so that you know, we are currently housed under the Office of the Dean of Students, and the Dean of Students is Larry Robertson, and you can reach out to him if you have any concerns with our office and our function. We are very much aligned with the Center for Academic Success. They are in the same building as us, and we have a very collaborative relationship with them for helping the students get tutors or academic suggestions and strategies as needed. The same thing as the Writing Center. The Writing Center is also located in the same building as us. And so we can easily get the student to the Writing Center to get the help they need for their papers, essays, or projects that come up. I referenced the Dean of Students. Counseling and Psychological Services. Our ACT group is actually co-collaboration with the Office of CAPS, and the director, Maureen Walls-McKay, sits in that with my associate director, Madeline Shute, to ensure that it is a guided meeting. However, the students really benefit from running that meeting themselves and sharing information that benefits all. The Office of Residential and Commuter Life, we work closely with them to ensure that the students have housing needs addressed as well. We work with Academic Affairs, meaning we work with the faculty closely to make sure that student accommodations are met. The Office of Student Conduct and Integrity, we help with their programming, as well as if your student should get in trouble for any reason, we can help the student understand that process and not feel so anxious. And lastly, we're involved in the Office of Citizen Leadership and Social Justice, in that Longwood is a diversity subgroup, and we are very involved in making sure that these students feel welcome and included on campus. So those are a little bit about our campus partners. I would ask that you look at their web pages, reach out to them and ask them questions. You can ask them how they collaborate with us. If you have any specific concerns or would like more information about one of those campus partners, just reach out and let us know. And lastly, I want to consider your questions. I think this format provides you a way to contact me or my associates privately. So please reach out to us via email or phone, and we'd be happy to talk with you. Take care and have a great day.